Last time on Oz Hour.
Okay, last time on Oz Hour, we are with the Tin Man in the Tin House with the Scarecrow, and we meet Woot the Wanderer. Woot the Wanderer is just some guy wandering. And that's all you need to know. Just kidding. He says hi. Scarecrow and Tin Man are like, yeah, we're bored, so we want someone to talk to. And Tin Man goes into his whole fucking life story. He's like, oh, you want to hear the origin story? I'll tell you the origin story. And we learn a lot that we didn't know before. As Ozian experts, we didn't know. And so he tells us that there's this woman that he basically left behind. They're like, we're going to go find her because what the fuck? That's kind of fucked up that you did that. You really don't have a heart, huh, you little bitch. And so then they go on their journey. They're like, okay, let's just... They find another road because they don't want to run into any of these Emerald City little snobs, and he's like, let's just go, we're gonna find our own way, and then they run into the city called Loons, and the Loons are all these weird looking ball things that start poking everyone because they want to see if they can pop, because they're basically balloons, as we find out. It gets really scary, and they basically get out of there while Woot, is that his name? Yeah, Woot. He basically is like attacking everyone and popping every balloon in sight. And then they get out of there, and that's it. We're done.
Hi there, and welcome to episode 78 of Oz Hour, the only place where you can hear everything you never knew about the wonderful and strange land of Oz.
That's right. With help of some alcohol, we will be discussing each of the 14 books in L. Frank Baum's Wizard of Oz series.
Today, we will be continuing with Book 12, The Tin Woodman of Oz, covering chapters 5 through 7.
We're your hosts, Blake Stone.
And Wyatt Swangham.
And joining us, as always, is our resident Oz initiate, the amazing Hannah Aguirre.
Woo!
Ooh, everybody just ripped their headphones out of their
Yeah,
ears.
cars crashing.
Hannah's here!
She's a woo girl.
Love that.
Okay, woo girl. You just played last time on, where you recapped what happened last time on Oz Hour. Audience, I think we might have a PR here. That took 1 minute 35 seconds.
Yeah, pretty.
Without leaving out a million things, but it was a very high level gloss.
Yeah, which is fine. I think I will.
I am high level gloss.
Ooh,
well, for what I would
And
say,
that's all, period.
I think a high level gloss probably could have gone a little faster than 1:35.
whoa.
To be honest,
I'm fine with the mid.
Yeah, your embellishment was good.
Rise of the mids.
C minus. Not kidding.
B minus.
42%.
B actually B, but
But
weighted, so it's between a 83 and an 87. Not an 88.
Well, we might have some extra credit that she can work on after the show.
No.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Books are closed. Books are closed for the semester. That's her final
Grades
grade.
are final.
Yeah.
So I haven't even started drinking this drink yet, and I'm already making advances at our beautiful co-host. What do we have here?
Well, the only thing I'll say is that Hannah did not mention the Tin Woodman's wife. Sorry,
yes.
I saw that you made that note and you didn't action on
And
it.
I didn't.
so-
I got flustered.
Numi-Ammy.
Nimiami. There we go.
Nimiami.
See,
That's
if
what
you
I
would have,
said.
if you would have included that, that would have been an A+. But yeah, that's all. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What are we sipping on here?
Tonight we are drinking Yukahuzu.
Yoko Ono?
Yes. Yeah. This is her. Yeah.
Nice tone.
Thank you.
All right, let's slurp it
Well,
up.
okay, hold on.
Oh.
I haven't said anything about it.
Oh yeah, what is it?
It's a cocktail made with yuzu, which is a citrus fruit, a yuzu liqueur. And yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Slurp it up.
That's it.
It's funny.
Sour.
It's fun.
Chapter 5, Mrs. Yoop, the Giantess.
So as we know, we're leaving Loonville, and to get into Loonville, we had to pass through all this thicket that the Tin Woodman had to cut down. Remember all that?
Yes.
So we've made it
yeah,
out
there
of
was
the
that
thicket.
sign that was
Yeah,
like,
yes.
do not
Exactly.
enter.
Exactly.
So
Do not enter. So
Yes.
we've made it past the thicket. We've made it back to the sign. And once we pass the sign, we're headed east. We're like meandering.
Yeah.
Now we're
Let's
going
go.
east.
And they were already in a kind of not very well populated part of the Gilligan country, so they're cross country right now. They're just walking. But what they get to is what they call the rolling land. Basically, it's just hills. It's a bunch of hills. They go up the hill, down the hill, up the hill. It's super boring. And they spend like the entire day doing that. But then eventually they come to a big valley. Like they get up to one of the hills. It's a little taller than the others. They look down and it's a decent sized valley. Like just grass though. No
It's
trees.
Very, Lord of the Rings. It's like this U-shaped valley.
Oh yeah.
That they could just like a river cut
Yeah.
out. You know?
The Rohirrim could run right across
Yes.
it. Basically.
Exactly. Gosh, golly, next podcast. But in the center, nestled in the middle of this valley, is a castle.
Huge
in the
castle.
middle of nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah. A kind of a strange castle.
It's made out of purple Gillican stones.
Oh
And
yeah, that's right.
even though the castle is enormous, there's no turrets, there's no towers, there's hardly any windows. From what they can tell, there's like a small window and a door on each side of the castle.
And it's basically just like a cube almost.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of
Big
just
square.
a big square cube.
It's like a Grange Hall. Is that what that thing that I want to rent out down the street is called?
I feel like
it is,
I'm
but
thinking of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where those French guys are up at the top and they're like, pew pew, you can't come in.
whoa, never seen that movie.
She did the voice?
Well, they're like French.
I know, I'm kidding. Yeah, is it square?
I feel like it's like rectangular.
Okay, so this
is
doesn't
good.
have walls, though.
Oh,
This
it doesn't
is
have
oh well,
walls.
no, it's just a building.
Yeah,
basically.
just a building. No walls to keep anyone out. So it just, it looks like there's no towers, no turrets. There, Scarecrow is like, I had no idea there was a castle this big in the Gilligan country. He's like, who
Yeah,
could live
or
in this?
anywhere. He's like,
Looks
why
like-
would this be here?
Again, the government of the Emerald City really needs to buy a map.
I have
It's-
said it. I've said it before. Between these adventures, Osmond needs to be doing a survey of
She
every
doesn't
square
even know
foot.
Yes.
what's going.
Like,
There's too many things that have happened that have been very scary.
She's the
Yeah.
She
supreme.
was turned into a peach pit.
yeah,
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. She
She-
shouldn't even be with us.
She's the supreme ruler of Oz. She hasn't even conquered Oz. She needs
She
to
should've
send out
been-
conquistadors.
Yeah, she should have been composted.
Yeah.
girl.
Oh my God.
Like, let's reality check.
Yeah.
You're a
her.
fuzzy little peach.
But there are so many things that we do not know are out here, and this is just one of them.
And and this thing, the Tin Woodman, like, they didn't know this was here. The Tin Woodman thinks this is the biggest castle he's ever seen in his life.
But like,
He lives in a castle.
I was
but
like, what?
in the sense that the door is so tall, they would need a ladder to get to the door handle. It is big, like someone like zoomed in on it and then left it there.
I
Like
see.
it is, and it's huge, but it is like, how could, like, I don't think someone could even live here. Like, and they're like, well, how do we even get to the, like, get in the door? And Woot says, well, let's just get closer and see if anyone lives there. Like, because it seems from this vantage point that nobody does. Like, there's nothing
looks
really
abandoned.
around here. Yeah.
So they head into the valley, and it takes a while to get there. It's pretty far away. By
Yeah.
the time they make it to the castle, it's starting to get dark outside. And they're not sure what to do because they're like, okay, there could be nice people inside, so that means dinner and a bed. There could be enemies inside, which means having to deal with some bullshit at dark.
Yeah.
So like maybe we should just camp outside here. But the Scarecrow's like, well, third option, if the castle's empty, then we just make ourselves at home.
Yeah,
So-
and it looks empty. So the door is like 3 times the size of a normal door. And at the very top of the door, there's a stone carved with the words Yoop Castle.
Does this sound
And does
familiar
the word
to you at
Yoop
all?
mean anything to you?
Yoop, 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 yoop.
Don't say it so many times it loses meaning.
I feel like it does, but it just, honestly, it just sounds like an Oz, like, slur.
Right? Slur!
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
So the Scarecrow recognizes the name on the door immediately, and he's like, oh, this was probably the home of Mr. Yoop. Mr. Yoop is a cannibal giant that we met in the Patchwork Girl of Oz. He was like in a cage in the mountains in
He's a
Quadling
cannibal?
country. He liked to eat people. He liked to eat meat people with jam or something.
Oh,
like that.
wow. Yeah, I mean, he did like to eat people is what he said. But you're right. It was in the Quadling country. They were on their way to go find the dark well, to find the dark water Ojo was. And so they're going through the mountains, and then he has a cave, and he can reach out and grab them, but they like, have to like jump by and trick him or something.
I don't remember how they get past.
Oh,
it.
the Yoop.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is sounding familiar.
Yeah.
I am remembering that book too, because that was like a weird one where they had to use. Was there like some weird uranium?
Yeah, the
Oh.
uranium at the end. Yeah, in that wherever they ended up in that place where they ended up finding the dark well, everything was radium.
Yeah, radium.
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like all glowing green. It was all the rage
Mhm.
back then. They didn't know.
Yeah, and there's those two people having wars between each other.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And the,
Hey, it's all
yeah,
coming
the
back.
scarecrow got stuck on
He
the
was
fence.
like
The
being
hoppers.
thrown over the
Oh.
Tottenhops and the Tottenhops and
No.
They're
the
mixing it up.
No, you're right though. Some of them were Oingo Boingo, right? Like some of them were like hot.
We
Oingo
have to get out of
Boingo.
Okay,
here.
at us, at us.
I don't know what's going on.
So
Totten Hoppers Oingo Boingo. Someone help.
go, one sip of that drink.
In all of that sentence, there were slurs in there.
Yes.
So the Scarecrow is like, oh my god, like this must be the home of Mr. Yoop. We know that he's caged up in a cave in
Yeah.
the mountains of Quadling country. So the Scarecrow is like, this castle's probably empty. Like Mr. Yoop is up there. We know.
Yeah.
And the Tin Woodman's like, yeah, I remember that. I looked. Tin Woodman was not there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Was not
What are
there.
you talking about?
Ojo, Ojo, Scraps, Dorothy, and the Scarecrow. were there.
Okay. Losers.
He's such a liar.
I know, he
Yeah.
just lies and it, well, you know what? He's dying.
What?
Dying.
Oh, the Tin Woodman. I thought you meant L. Frank Baum.
Oh. Yeah,
no.
He is dying.
But more importantly, the Scarecrow's like, or the Tin Woodman's like, yeah, like the Yoop is fine, whatever. But he's like, but the doorknob is literally like 10 feet above us. Like we can't
Like, how do we even
get
in?
to it. But Woot is like, hey, I'll get on your shoulders and can probably reach. And so they do that and it works. So it's kind of like, why even?
So we did
Why were you
another
guys stressing?
body
Yeah.
ladder.
Exactly. They love the body ladder. But the door just swings open with a groaning sound.
Woot
So-
hops down off the Tin Woodman's shoulders and they head into this big empty hallway in the castle.
Yeah. Very
And-
trusting.
The Scarecrows, so they go in and the door slams shut behind them like almost immediately, as doors do. But as we know, Woot just unlocked the door from the outside. The latch is on the outside of the door.
So now they're prisoners.
Oh my god.
They're trapped in a castle they have no
Yeah.
business being inside of. I'm like, is the whole point
Is
of
there
this book
windows?
them going to places they have no fucking business going to?
True.
Because so
Well-
far they went to Loonville where there was
They
a sign
have a
saying
place
don't
that
go.
they're going.
Go
I
there.
know.
Yeah,
Literally.
like, why are we going
Yeah.
inside a castle?
Like they. Oh
Is
my
this a
god.
video game?
No, literally,
Yeah,
it's like we
side
gotta
quest.
loot. We gotta
God.
loot in here.
Literally. But no, there is the one window they saw from the outside. It looked like there was one window on each side, maybe.
Yes.
But like, it's not like they can just go break
So
a
it's-
window
it's-
at their height.
They cannot, and it's dark, because like Wyatt
Oh,
said,
yeah.
not very many windows.
Now it's pitch black in there.
so the Scarecrow's like, all we can do is keep going forward. Which, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
So with
I
the
should have
door,
been doing that around the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Outside of the castle.
check
would
it
have been
out
much
first.
easier to
So-
keep going.
the three of them, they huddle close together. It's very lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, lions and tigers and
Oh.
bears. They move forward across the stone ground, just waiting to see what they're going to find. And suddenly, the way is illuminated by a soft glow. The light is
That
coming
comes
from
from
nowhere.
You know, I love this, but I'm also like, couldn't it just for once be like torches that
A
lit from
sconce.
nowhere,
Yeah.
or like an overhead light that burns with like a candle that never goes out? It's like,
Lights,
why is it always the mysterious witch light?
lights that you can track the source of turning on by themselves is just as eerie.
Just as freaky, yeah. But it's not. It is just a normal light. And so they're getting toward like the end of this hall, and there's another huge door, but this one opens up on its own.
No sound. No one touches it. And they look through the doorway into this big chamber. It's like basically like we said, the castle's basically just a big square.
Mm-hmm.
So presumably, had they gone through any of the doors, all of them would have led down a long hallway to this big center room. Is what
Yeah.
it kind of feels like.
That's what
Okay.
it feels like. They're just in like a big hall, and it's also lit without lamps. And at the center is a large woman at a large table. but in the sense that she is a
enormously
giant.
large woman.
Yeah.
Hey, stop talking about me.
She's a
not
big
like that.
a sow, if you would.
No, she's like 30 feet tall. She's big. She's a giant.
She wears a giant woman.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to
Oh my
repost that
God,
TikTok.
We need to do a new one.
She is wearing silver robes, these beautiful like dress with like these elaborate floral designs sewn onto it. She's like dressed to the nines, but she's got this like lacy apron tied around her waist like a maid kind of. So it's like, oh, like
Yeah.
that apron is kind of taken away from your charm sister, but like go off.
Yeah, it's not giving fashion, but the table is. It's this white tablecloth, golden dishes, and they'd surprise her during supper. Like she's just in the middle of her food,
Her back is to them.
but she kind of sort of like looks a little bit behind her, like side eye, as if she's about to turn, but she doesn't. And then she's like butters a biscuit, starts eating it, and she asks in a very deep but like kind of like soothing voice, like, what the fuck did she say?
She's like, why did you come in? You're causing a
Oh, yeah.
draft.
Yes, yeah. She's like, close that door. I'm gonna get sneezing and I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, if I get sneezing, I'm going to be cross and you won't like me when I'm cross. And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, heard
So-
that.
They come in and they walk around to the other side of the table so that they're facing each other. And this giantess has like this weird little smile on her face that as soon as Woot looks at her face, he's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Weird.
She's planning
There's something's
something.
going on here.
No.
He's got the heebie-jeebies.
How are they gonna get out?
And so she's like, so well, it's funny. You're wondering how are they gonna get out? She's like, why are you in here?
Yeah.
She's like, what's your excuse for coming into my get out of my swamp?
I have
Yeah.
to say that's a very valid question.
Yeah. Literally,
They
she's-
opened they made a human ladder
Yeah.
to open a door that they had no business being in.
Yeah.
And from what I know of the Yoop, he ate people. They're lucky she's sitting there eating biscuits.
Honestly.
True.
So she asks, like, what are you doing in here? And the Scarecrow explains, he's like, we're strangers to this area. Like, we didn't even know there was a castle here. We were just looking for a place for our meat boy friend to sleep. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, no meat boy. He is a meat boy. I was like,
he's a meat boy. He's
He's
the
a
only
boy.
meat boy there.
And she was like, okay, so I suppose you knew that this was private property. And the Scarecrow explains, like, what we already know. He's like, well, it said Yoop's castle, and we know that the Yoop is up in... Mr. Yoop is up in a
sorry.
cage in the Quadling Mountains, so we thought the place was empty.
And the giantess is like, oh, I see. Well, what you didn't know is that Mr. Yoop was made a prisoner and that his wife was left behind to take care of the castle by herself and run it on her own.
Oh, she's pissed.
Woot is like, who captured him?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm like-
shut the fuck
I'm like, you or
up.
Woot. Just give me yours.
You! But Mrs. Yoop says that he was taken away by wicked enemies who were people that selfishly did not want Mr. Yoop eating their cows and their sheep whenever he got hungry.
Yeah.
And also he would get pissed off and he would knock down their houses. So,
He's
you know, they're the bad guys.
Yeah, she's like, oh, yeah, they didn't like him. But one day a mob arrived and carried him off. And she's like, I actually don't care. He was actually really mean to me a
He's
lot of the time.
abusive.
He would kick her in the shins
Oh my god. I'm
Yeah,
not surprised.
when she wouldn't serve him, which is crazy.
I'm like, dude,
mean-
you found another giant. Like, you
Yeah.
found another giant and she was a woman. You two should be so happy.
No.
Yeah.
No, he
And
just
you have a
wanted to
castle?
terrorize.
No, now he is enslaved. Or no, imprisoned. But yeah, Woot is like, well, why didn't they take you too? Like, you're a giant. And she's like, well, I'm way too clever for that. And then she laughs at them, and her wind like knocks the Scarecrow off his feet.
Oh my gosh.
But she's like, I saw the mob coming, and so I transformed myself into a mouse, and I hid in the cupboard. And once they left, I went back to being a woman, and I've lived here peacefully ever since.
God, Elfringbaum, he was like, women are smarter than
Man, dumb, woman,
they
clever.
should
Yeah.
be in charge of everything.
Yeah, and they're always into transformation.
That is why
magic.
that man is in a cage and this woman is living freely eating her biscuits.
Yes.
She's sort of
Well,
living
just wait.
freely,
Uh-oh.
but because I mean,
I guess she's in hiding technically.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But she transformed herself into a mouse, and so Wu is like, "Are you a witch?" And she's like, "No, I'm not a witch, but I'm an artist in transformations."
Mm-hmm.
So what does that make her?
Well, she says it makes her more of a yukahu,
Oh.
aka the yukahuzu, our featured cocktail.
Oh.
More of a yukahu than a witch. Yukahu doesn't mean anything.
No, I tried to find some
tried to
connection
Google.
to real language.
I did find vague, really, I think more so just because Google thought that I was spelling this wrong, references to hoodoo, like Central African, whatever, religion or
Which
like
would have
witchcraft, but-
existed.
Yes,
but,
yeah. But I think
um,
it's more of just the way that it's spelled because it's crazy.
She adds that Yukahus are the cleverest magic workers in the world, and I wonder if Yukahus are also evil by definition, because we know from older Oz books that only evil witches practice transformations.
Yeah.
Blinky,
Mm-hmm.
Mombi, like it's a known rule that
Yeah.
good witches don't practice
do that.
transformation. So you
That's a
kind
good
of have
question.
to be evil, even
Yeah.
though she did it to save herself.
But the friends do a collective gulp at this point because they're like, what does this mean for us? We're trapped in
We're
this
trapped
room
inside.
with this woman who is a yukahu who does transformations. Like, what is she going to do with us? So the Scarecrow is like, okay, like, so are you like a friend to us or are you an enemy to us? Like, what's going on?
Mrs. Yoop says, "I never have friends." But they're also not her enemies.
Yeah.
Oh my
she's like, but I'm not your enemy. Like, she's like, I'm just glad you're here because I'm lonely and I'm bored.
Okay, so she's just a regular girl doing her thing, trying to live and
Well,
survive.
Well,
Stop. Okay, I need to stop. I keep making assumptions.
So-
I need to stop, I think.
She is bored, but only because ever since she transformed the daughter of the rainbow, Polychrome, into a canary. Yeah. Literally, yeah.
Not our Polychrome.
Very
That's
much
the
our
one.
Polychrome.
Why'd she turn her into a canary?
That's a great
Oh,
question.
Great question.
Yeah. So Tin Woodman is like, what? Why did you turn her into a canary? Well, actually, he's like, what? He's like, how? Like, she's a powerful fairy. Like, how were you able to do that?
Mrs. Yoop is like, she was a powerful fairy.
Yeah.
Like,
Now she's a canary.
Let me correct you there real quick because it seems like you didn't hear me the first time.
Yeah. I turned her into a canary.
You know,
You
the
hear?
bird.
Listen. Yeah. And but she's like, well, it rained one day. Polychrome was dancing on the rainbow and then just like fell asleep, took a little nap on the ground.
Same old, same old.
Yeah, same old thing. But she was like, well, the sun came out and the rainbow disappeared. And she was like, so I ran out there and I turned her into a canary and put her in a golden jeweled cage and then brought her home.
You can imagine her surprise when she awoke.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
Literally.
gosh.
So she thought Polychrome was going to love this. She thought Polychrome was going to sing like a little canary.
They're gonna talk
the two
all
of them would
day.
have good times. But ever since being turned into a canary and trapped inside of a cage, Polychrome doesn't want to talk to her.
She has not said a single word.
Very
Can you
valid.
imagine?
She is
Very
now
valid.
just a canary. She is just a sad canary at this point.
Like me to my cats.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you speak
Yeah,
to
you're
me?
just like, come on, guys, don't you want to come cuddle? And they're just like, I don't want to do that.
me after a toast.
Like I took you home.
Yeah.
Me
I
after-
took you to my
oh, no.
house.
God.
So Wu, upon hearing, oh my God, Polychrome is here, he's thinking like, oh my God, I've heard marvelous tales of Polychrome. I'd be so interested to meet her. I'm just going to remind you, he did not know who the Tin Woodman, the
Okay,
Scarecrow, or
but-
Dorothy Gale were.
That was my
But-
next question. I was like, how the fuck does he know someone in the sky, but he doesn't know two people that are grounded?
He
Yeah.
doesn't know the President of the United States
Yeah,
of Oz.
basically.
But I think I had the same reaction, but then I was like, well, as we learned when the Scarecrow sang that song last time, they were talking nonstop the last few days. They probably talked about
He's
Polychrome
heard
or some of the
about Polychrome
adventures.
from them.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's my impression.
Okay.
I could see that.
My
I
theory.
guess.
My little pet theory.
You know what? It's going to stop me from burning down an elementary school. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yes, yeah. You're welcome, Ardenwald. Sorry. Not our neighborhood.
Don't dox us.
I was like, that's not where we live.
Yeah.
So Woot's like, where's Polychrome now? And Mrs. Yoop tells him that the cage is just hanging in her bedroom. So the fellas are starting to feel pretty uneasy.
Yeah. Because she enslaved Polychrome, a powerful sky fairy. So what will happen to them?
Yeah.
And so Scarecrow's like, oh, like, do you know who we are?
She says, of course I do.
Yeah. Like, you're a straw man, a tin man, and a boy. She's like, you mean nothing. But the Tin Woodman is like, hey, we're important people. And she's like, well, good. Important people are usually the best company. Like, I'm sure you'll be very interesting.
And will be missed.
Yes, literally. She's like, I'm going to keep you here forever, as long as I live. And just so you know, people in this valley never die. And I'm like, yeah, in Oz, no one ever dies. So like,
She hasn't made it past
She-
185th.
yeah, yeah,
158.
158.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
But Mrs. Yoop starts to laugh at them, and the Scarecrow hides behind the Tin Woodman and Woot so it doesn't knock him over again. But he's like, look, we have friends in high places. They're going to come looking for us, which I'm like, girl, go ahead and lie through your teeth. Nobody knows where you are.
Yeah, you decide not
although
to go to the Emerald City.
Ozma, at any point though, could ask her picture where they are,
True.
True.
and then they could
And
go
then it'll
to.
show her like a dark pocket.
Oh my god, yeah, she'd be like, oh, they're in a yeah. But no,
Um,
or in Glinda's book, they'd be able to read the history of what happened.
True.
So no matter what happens to them, they can be found.
But Mrs. Yoop is like,
She doesn't know that.
your powerful friends can come and find you whenever they want to, because when they get here, they're not going to see a Tin Man and a Scarecrow and a boy.
Yeah, because tomorrow morning I'm going to transform you into all new shapes. I want you in a different form, and you won't be recognizable.
Why does she want to change everyone?
I don't know. I really don't know. Honestly, it's Tin
It's a
Woodman and
mental
Scarecrow are kind of
illness.
more interesting.
Power
Yeah, it is. That's her power
It's
play.
Buffalo Bill.
But the Tin Woodman and Scarecrow are like, they all hate this basically, but they're kind of trying to think of ways to escape. But the giantess seems to read their minds, and she's like, hey, don't be thinking about ways to escape. There's like no reason for you to escape. You're not going to be able to, like, just learn to like it here. You're going to like your new shape that I'm going to make you into. You're going to like it. And you're going to be happy. So don't worry about it.
And Woot is like, so what are you going to make us into?
Yeah.
Which I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
why do you
wanna-
care?
Yeah.
I don't
well,
want to
mean,
be a table.
literally, yeah.
true.
Don't make
It's-
me a table.
It's very much giving. Floop is a madman. Help us, save us.
Oh my God, literally. But she's like, well, I'm going to dream on
Yoop
it.
is a madman.
Yes. But no, she said she's going to dream about it overnight and then she's going to decide, but she doesn't know yet. And she's like, but like, you could choose your new form if you want to. And
Woot's like, I choose this.
yeah, it's like, I'll stay.
I
Like,
choose my present state.
yeah, literally. Yeah. He's like, I'd prefer to stay how I currently am. And she's like, you're small and you're weak. Like, look at you. Why would you want to be this? Like, I'm going to change you into something really interesting, more fun. Like, it's going to be great. Like, you're going to love it, whatever happens. And then she just keeps eating her biscuits.
She keeps eating her
Yeah.
biscuits, and the Scarecrow is looking at her, and he's like, wait a minute.
The big question here.
There's no grain fields around here. Where'd you get flour to make those biscuits? She says, making biscuits out of flour? I'm a yukahoo. That sounds exhausting. She set some traps this afternoon, and she caught a bunch of field mice. But she doesn't like eating field mice. So she
turned them
transformed them
into
into a
biscuits.
pile of hot biscuits.
Yeah.
The pot of honey that she's dipping the biscuits into, what was that?
People.
A wasp nest.
Oh my God.
So she just transforms it. And she's like, anyone hungry? And she
Yeah,
like tries serving
it's
it up
li-
to them.
Oh my god,
What
it's
if
like
there's
a
no more mice?
I know, yeah. Well,
transform something else.
yeah, more wasp nest. But Tin Woodman and Scarecrow are like, we don't eat. Like, we can't even react
ask
to that.
him. Mm.
But Wu is like, oh, like I have some natural food in the bag I brought with me. Like, I would rather eat that than a wasp nest.
In any form, yeah.
Yeah.
But Mrs. Woot's like, suit yourself. And she stands up from the table and she claps her hands together and the supper table disappears.
Oh my god, she is mad.
She is
Yeah, this is
magic.
more magic than anyone we've ever seen. In
Yeah.
Oz.
Yeah.
No incantation. That's the Yukahu magic, I guess.
She just
I
claps
guess
her.
there's no magic belt
Yeah.
Mhm.
anymore.
Well, there was last book.
The
We'll
most,
see.
like some of the most powerful magic we ever saw. Blinky had to turn herself into 3 other bitches and like do a naked dance in the forest to make Princess Gloria sad. Or
Yeah.
something.
Well, they froze her heart.
They froze her heart. But I'm like, that was the strongest magic I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This lady clapped her hands.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that is the end of chapter 5. Mrs. Yoop, the giantess. And Blake, what would you call that?
For Yoop's entertainment.
Here we go.
Chapter 6. The magic of a Yukahu. So Woot had not seen really that much magic in his wanderings. Obviously, as we know, he didn't really know about anything, and it seems like he pretty much just saw the land.
Yeah.
The Tin Woodman and the Scarecrow have seen a lot. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're like pretty much different sides of the coin.
And everyone is equally impressed and afraid of the magic
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah.
seeing right now.
Me too.
Yeah, they're like, we've never seen that. How is that possible? Because, and this is kind of like what you were saying, Blake, like, she was not chanting. She's not burning herbs and like doing something crazy with her hands to do all this magic. She just she claps, it happens. She seems to read their minds. She can transfer. Like, it's just like she's not doing anything special. It's just in her,
Like Glinda can't do anything without her magic instruments. The wizard can't do anything without his little black bag.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
Yeah. So who's all powerful?
Yeah.
So Mrs. Yoop takes a seat in a huge armchair and she's like, "Come on, everybody, have a seat." The chairs in the room are made for giants.
Yeah.
There is no way any of them can have a seat.
So they're all just like looking up at the seats and they're just like, But she claps her hands and a little ladder appears so they can climb up on top of one of the seats. So convenient, but also like, where'd that ladder come from? She just had that or did
Yeah.
she make it?
Also, that's still not like a chair for them. It's
I
just
know.
another place
Yeah,
for
why
them
don't you
to
make
stand.
yourself
I-
smaller?
Yeah.
Well, that would be dangerous for her maybe if they overpowered her.
Oh, fair.
But that's true. I thought the same thing. I was like, can't she just clap her hands for tiny chairs?
Yeah, make it small.
But then they're way there on the
then
ground.
they're on the floor.
But what they do, they climb up and there's a cushion on the seat, so they sit on the cushion.
They're
so,
like all just
it's
sitting
comfortable.
together on one enormous chair.
Yeah, and she's just like in her big chair across from them.
So Mrs. Yoop's like, "Talk to me. Like,
Yeah,
how'd you end up over here? Where are you coming from? Where are you going?" And the Tin Woodman tells Mrs. Yoop all about Nimmy Ammy and his duty to marry her and make her the Empress of the Winky Country, even though he doesn't have a loving heart. She loves the story.
Yeah.
And she's like, "All right, Scarecrow, your turn. What's your deal?"
and they basically just give her like they're like, oh well, like I'm like the Scarecrow, like tells them about Ozma and Dorothy and like the Emerald City, and like they end up telling her about Loonville, and she's learning about all this stuff for the first time. She's never heard about Ozma or the Emerald City or any of that stuff. This is her just being informed. And she's like, yeah, I don't really get out much. Like, if you
Yeah.
notice, people hate us. They captured my husband and took him up into the mountains. I don't really socialize outside the valley.
The Scarecrow takes this opportunity to like level with her and kind of like do this hostage negotiation. And he's
Yeah.
like, "If you think that the people are wicked for capturing your husband, why would you capture us and Polychrome? Like, that's the same thing. That's just as bad."
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. No, he doesn't.
Oh,
He takes this moment to tell her that Ozma, who she's never heard of, would punish her if she knew that she was working magic without her consent, which Ozma obviously does not know.
Yeah.
So he's like, "You're gonna be in big trouble with Ozma." She's
why are
like,
you saying
she's like,
that?
I
"I've
know.
never heard of that little kid."
It just makes Mrs. Yoop mad. She's like, I
Yeah.
don't care if this little girl who I have never seen, who has never seen me, who will never see me, I don't care.
I'm in
if
this
she-
valley you found by accident.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
she would punish you. I'm like, well, that's a long way from will,
exactly.
But the Tin Woodman is like, hey, like, like Ozma's a fairy. She's powerful and like we're under her protection. So like you better not like hurt us. Don't try and destroy us. And Mrs. Yoop again is like, well, what I do in my own castle is actually no one's business. And Ozma can't see what's going on here. The only people that have ever come here are fools like you guys.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Ultimately, she's like, "You're not going to scare me out of doing this, and you shouldn't be afraid either. Just
Yeah.
man the fuck up and let me transform you."
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to transform you in the morning. Now good night.
Yeah, good night. I'm tired.
Like, I'm actually
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
with this
So she
she
conversation.
fee-fi faux thumbs her ass to her
Yeah.
bedroom.
Yes, yeah.
Way to piss her off.
So she goes through this doorway, she closes the door behind her, and then right when it shuts, all the lights go out. Now it's like scary dark. It's pitch black. They're in
Still
a
And they're
Stop
on
with
a
that
fucking
chair.
30-foot
Well, that's
up
what I was gonna
chair.
say. Yeah, it's like
I was
I
like,
don't
I'm
know
not
if they're on
taking
the
that
chair.
ladder back down.
No way.
No, it's pitch black. There's no windows, and so they're like, okay, I guess we're just done. And Woot is like freaked out because he's like, God, like it's so dark. Like there could be things in here. Like we don't know this place. But he's also like, I guess she could have given me a bed. Like what the hell? But right when he's saying that, like he feels something like push on his leg, and it's a bed. Like a bed appears underneath him, and he's like, oh. And so he goes the fuck to sleep. He's like, I had a
which
long
I'm
day.
like, girl, do you want to like
Go to
talk to
sleep.
your friends about
Yeah.
what to do? But no, he's like, oh, I'm Dorothy sleeping in a flying house.
I
Literally.
guess when I wake up, I'll
exactly.
be something different.
Yeah, literally.
I don't want to watch it happen.
I'm not watching it happen.
So during the night, while Mrs. Yoop and Woot are asleep, the Tin Woodman and the Scarecrow, they climb down off the chair. They're discussing with one another, like, what the fuck do we do? They're literally walking around the whole, like, castle. Like, you know, they're in that, like, big room.
The room.
They're walking around, like, looking for spring-loaded tiles and stuff.
Yeah.
That might
They're trying to
get them
find
the
3
fuck
pearls.
out of there. Yeah.
But yeah, they're trying to like find the brick that'll move or whatever. They spend the entire night doing this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can't find anything. Like they don't find anything at all. And then it's the morning. And like right when Mrs. Yoop is getting up, the bed underneath Woot disappears, so he falls to the ground, 3 feet or
Rude
whatever.
Yeah, the
awakening.
chair.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, "Oh my god!" But he's awake. And then Mrs. Yoop comes out. She's wearing we kind of mentioned like she's wearing beautiful robes again, and she's still wearing that lace apron on top of it. So she's a working girl still. But she goes ahead and she sits down.
She says, I am hungry. Let's have breakfast right now. Which I'm like, okay, buy them some time, I guess.
Yeah.
She claps her hand. The table appears. The white tablecloth and gold dishes are there, but there's no food. There's just a pitcher of water, a bundle of weeds, and a handful of pebbles. And so Mrs. Yoop, she pours some of the water into her coffee pot. She like pats the coffee pot a couple of times and pours it into her cup. It's steaming hot coffee.
Yeah. So there's the magic. And she asks Woot if he wants some coffee. And on one hand, he's like, oh, like I'm freaked out. It's magic coffee, but it smells really good. And he's like, actually,
We've
like,
all been there.
Been
yeah.
there.
He's like, it smells great. I will have some. And so she pours him some, but it's in her giant sized cup. So she puts the cup on the ground, like in a sauce with a spoon.
Like he's a cat.
It's this, yes, and it's the size of a bathtub. It's like as tall as him.
Yeah, he can't
So-
even move the spoon.
Yeah.
Like, the
Oh, I
spoon's
hate that.
enormous.
So he has to like put his little head in and like sip a little bit of it.
Which it's hot. So he basically
Yeah.
like lowered his body above a hot spring and gulped it down. And he's like,
God.
that's good.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I love doing that.
He does say it tastes great.
It's super good.
That's good at
Um,
least.
Mrs. Yoop turns the bunch of weeds into a bowl of oatmeal and she eats it, offers him none. But when she finishes her oatmeal, she picks up the pebbles and she's like, how can I complete this breakfast? That sounded to me already like a complete breakfast. But she was like, should I turn these pebbles into fish balls or lamb chops? And she's like,
Oh my god.
what do you want, Woot? Well, I'll make them whatever you want them to be.
Yeah. And he's like, I have food in my bag still. Like, this food looks delicious. It looks totally normal. But honestly, I'm just scared of it. Like, I'm scared to eat this food. It seems strange.
She laughs at him and she chooses fish balls.
Yeah. So she turns the pebbles into fish balls.
But she's like, I take it you're afraid that if you eat these fish balls, they'll turn into stones again in your stomach and make you sick. And I'm like, oh,
I didn't think about that, but
Didn't
now I
cross my
am.
Yeah, I thought it
mind.
was just kind of scary magic.
Now I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
You said it.
But she's
well,
like,
but no
don't
need to
worry.
worry.
Don't
Not worry about that.
Because anything that she transforms into something else, it can never be transformed into its original shape again.
What?
So no problem.
No,
Yeah.
it's impossible.
She's like, I can't do it.
Elfang
No one
Prom
can
is
do
making
it.
something where you can reverse that. Polychrome is not going to be a canary her whole life.
It kind of makes you scared, though, doesn't it?
It
I mean,
does
when
a
was
little
when was
bit.
the last
What
time you
if?
thought about polychrome?
Every day.
Oh.
Every rainbow.
Every rainbow.
Wow, you said a lot with that.
So she says that nothing can be turned back. And at this point, Woot begs to not be transformed. He's like, please don't do it. Like, please leave me how I am. Like, I'm fine. And she's like, hey, changing your shapes, like, I'm not doing it to please you. Guess what? Like, I don't care how much you don't want it.
Strictly for me.
Yeah, she's like, I want you to look different, and also I don't want your friends to be able to find you and recognize you. So you actually kind of sold that one to me last time.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's like you told me how they'll
She
find
is
you.
so like Dolores Umbridge. Like the way she uses their words and their actions against them, and she does it all with a smile. And she
Yeah.
sounds so like
It's really freaking.
she sounds
me out.
so. I'm
Yeah.
just doing this with your best interest
Like,
in
I'm actually
mind.
the
Yeah.
kindest person ever.
And she is. I will say we haven't really touched on it. Maybe it hasn't come up yet, but just to say, because it's not important. But like Elveringbaum repeatedly is like, she's not ugly, she's not scary looking, she looks normal, and she sounds
She's
normal.
just large.
Like she's just a big person, but like she is totally normal. But that makes it scarier because she's just like this normal looking woman. The pictures look normal. But yeah, she is being very scary to them. And she's like, okay, well, I'm done with breakfast. And so she claps her hands. It all goes away. And she's like, and next thing on our program this morning is getting you guys changed. So let's go. And I was like, wow, she has a program for the morning?
Yeah, like god damn it, crazy. Well,
Yeah.
she honestly does. She's like Miss Trunchbull because she has her workout routine later too.
Oh, yeah. We'll get
But
there. Yeah.
The Scarecrow's like, have you decided what we're gonna be yet?
Oh, she's
And
dreamed it right
She's like, yeah, I dreamed it out your forms in my sleep. She's like, actually, the Tin Woodman, he
And she
seems like a
points.
very solemn person. So I think I'll change him into an owl. And she says it all while pointing directly at him. And within a couple of seconds, he is transformed into an owl.
Oh my god.
into a tin owl.
10 legs, 10
I'd love to
beak,
see
10
it. 10
feathers.
10 feathers.
It's probably gorgeous.
It is. And he flies up to the top of the chair and perches. And she's just laughing.
And as he does, like, he's made of tin, so it's like...
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's like, well, you're not going to get lost with those tin feathers. That's for sure. And she's like, I meant to change you not into a tin owl. I was thinking a meat owl, but I totally forgot about that. So now you're just a tin owl forever because you'll never change back, but you're the only one. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's like, even if I wanted to make you a meat owl, I can't. You can only change one
Yeah.
time.
It's like, it's
So
permanent.
That's how the magic works.
So-
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now the Scarecrow is like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because
That's
this
my
whole
best
time,
friend.
he's been thinking, me and the Tin Woodman, we're not people. Like, we can't be changed. He was more worried about Woot.
Yeah.
So now that he's seen the Tin Woodman be changed, even though Polly was changed
Yeah, it's
too.
like, what about polychrome?
But
True.
he's seen the Tin Woodman be changed, and now he's like, oh my god.
Guess she's
Um,
gonna turn you into a little rat.
Yeah, right. So now he's just like, he's trying to stall.
Well, he starts
he's trying to
lashing
buy
out,
time.
though.
He's like, hey, that's not nice.
Yeah.
We're your guests, and you're being mean.
And she's like, well, you weren't invited.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not being mean to a guest. You came here and you broke into my house. And he's like, well, we needed hospitality. We didn't know, like, you're just being wicked. You're being a wicked woman. I hate to say it, but, like, maybe you could act more ladylike.
Her whole expression changes. And she's like, it seems like you're trying to make me angry. And you know what? In my opinion, you're kind of acting like a fucking bear.
And so you will be one. And so she points, and he immediately turns into a brown bear, but he is a stuffed brown bear filled with straw. But he's like a little cloth, like,
Okay, so she didn't
teddy
learn her
bear.
lesson.
I guess not.
Because he got her all worked up. I
Yeah, she was like, bear, bear, bear.
You're a bear, and you're a bear. But yeah, he's like walking around on 4 legs, and Woot is like, okay, I'm next. So he's like, did it hurt? And the Scarecrow's like, no, it didn't hurt. I just feel like fucking undignified.
Yeah, I
And
feel
the owl-
violated.
And the Tin Owl is like, yeah, totally humiliating. Also, I can't see very well. The light really hurts my eyes.
Oh my
And Woot's
gosh.
like, you're an
He's like, you're an
owl,
owl, man.
Like,
Sorry.
you're
Like,
nocturnal,
you
girl.
can probably see in the dark. Like, don't worry.
Yeah, but also, can we just like make it about me for 1 second?
yeah.
But Mrs. Woot, oh my gosh, Mrs. Yoop is like, I like these new forms.
She
And
loves her
now
work. She's a big fan of herself.
It's time for Woot. She was like, you're up next, honey. And she says that she's going to make him a green monkey because she wants something fun and amusing to make her happy when she's feeling sad. And a green monkey would just be so fun to have. And so she points at him, and he turns into a monkey.
God
And
damn.
It says he can
Yeah.
like feel himself transforming, but like it doesn't hurt or anything. It just like feels kind of weird. And he watches like the green silky monkey fur show up, and his hands turn into monkey hands, and his feet turn into monkey. Like his clothes are gone. And he's once the transformation's complete, he's pissed.
He's so
like his
pissed.
immediate response is just pure anger. And
He's about to go ape on
so
her.
mad. He's about to go ape. He starts chattering like an actual monkey. He's like, "Ee, ee, ee, ee." He jumps up onto one of those enormous chairs. He jumps onto the back of it, and he leaps at her. And his plan, like in his head, is he's like, I'm going to rip her hair out by the roots. I'm going to transform her, basically. is
Okay,
what
let's
he's
fucking
saying.
go.
But
Rip her eyeballs out.
she just laughs, and she holds her hand up, and she says, "Be gentle now. You're not angry with me.
You're a nice little monkey.
You're happy." And all of a sudden, he does feel happy. He feels happier than he's felt since he was a child. He feels carefree.
She gave him Molly.
He literally, yeah. He caresses her cheek. She like scratches his little head, and she's like, "Hey."
They trade rave candy.
Oh my God, yeah. But she's like, you should all be happy and friendly. Like, this is how it's gonna be. Like, we're just gonna be
It's
happy.
like, we're all friends. We're all happy friends.
Yeah, like Tin Owl, how are you feeling out there?
Yeah, and the owl is like, I feel comfortable, but he doesn't like it. But he's also like, I'm not going to allow this new form to like make me unhappy. I'm okay. But then he's like, why'd you make me a tin owl? Like, what is that good for? And she's like, oh, you're going to make me laugh.
Yeah.
And then the scarecrow like sits back on his little like bear haunches. He can hardly move because he's like overstuffed. He's like, am I gonna make you laugh too? And she's like, of course, you're all gonna make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, and she's just like, and she tells them that she mixed in the magic. Like she put a charm on them to make them content with their transformations. So they're not like, they don't like it, but they're just kind of like chilling about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I wish I did that with Polychrome.
Yeah, she's like, because that girl is not happy.
Yeah, where the fuck is
she won't
Polychrome?
speak. She won't sing. Well, so actually, she's like, maybe now, since you guys are happy, Polychrome will be happy. I'm gonna go get her because she keeps her in her bedroom. So she goes into her bedroom and she returns with a big golden cage with a little yellow bird in it. Mrs. Yoop makes the introductions, but the Scarecrow's like, yeah, we know Polychrome, actually. We're good friends. He's like, Polly, like, it's me, the Scarecrow. And Polly speaks the first word she's spoken since she's been captured,
Oh my gosh.
which is that really you, Scarecrow? And she's
Oh my
like,
God.
shit.
And the Scarecrow's like, it's really me. I'm sorry I look like this. And the Tin Woodman's like, yeah, and it's me, the Tin Man over here. He's like, we're both birds, but I'm not as beautiful as a tin owl as you are as a real canary. And Polly's like, why the fuck didn't you guys escape?
Yeah, she's like, how did you not escape this place? What happened? And they're like, well,
The
she
door
trapped
closed
us.
behind us.
Yeah, they're like, we couldn't do anything. And she, like, Polly's just, like, upset. And she's like, it's just so awful. Like, why is this happening to all of us? Like, why, basically?
Woot, like, on his little he's like, ooh, 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 ooh. And he goes
Aw.
over to the cage and he's like, Polly, you're a fairy. Like, is there anything we can do? Like, tell us what to do and we'll do it. And like, she's just like, I'm powerless.
Yeah,
I'm
She's
a
like,
I'm
don't
a
you think I
bird.
would have
Canary."
done something by now?
Yeah,
Would have
literally.
attempted
Yeah.
something?
And Mrs. Yoop is like, okay, no more with the tea party. You're all helpless. You're all under my power. Get used to it.
Yeah.
She's like, as I've already told you, there is no magic in the world that will break this enchantment. So every day after breakfast,
I just don't believe her.
I walk around my castle 16 times for exercise. So I'm going to go do that right now. And when I come back, you guys have to just chill the fuck out.
Honestly, this was me when I was like 8 with all my like stuffed unicorns that I like forced to live out like, I don't know.
Oh.
Nothing crazy. There were unicorn wars back in the day though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then they'd be mad at you and you'd be like, I'm going to go.
I'd be like, I'm sorry that I'm pitting you guys against each other, but like there's a civil war going on right now. We need to figure it out.
Yeah. I used to feel like my Scooby-Doo gang toys like didn't like playing with the other toys because they had their own mystery machine. So it's like I put them away in their mystery machine in the top of my closet. So when they played with the toy box toys, I always felt like they didn't want to be there. And then they'd like Fred's shirt is white, for instance, and he'd end up with like, you know, like toys like they get scuffed and stuff.
Yeah.
And he'd end up with these little scuffs, and I'd be like, sorry.
I'm sorry. Man.
And Fred hates that.
Fred is classy.
He is classic.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Yoop is like, yeah, y'all figure it out. I'm walking around the castle 16 times. When I come back, change your attitudes, fix your lip. So she walks up to the door. She says, open. And she walks through the door. Woot runs. He books it.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is the chance. I'm going to get out.
Yeah.
Door slams behind her. Into
Oh my
Yoop. Or
gosh.
Woot, I mean. And it just like slams in his face. And he can't get out. And that's the end of chapter 6. The magic of a Yukahu. And Blake, what would you call that?
Idaku call that a transformative experience.
Yep. Yep.
Chapter 7. The lace apron.
So now that the Yoop is gone, Polychrome's like, all right, you maggots, line up. Like, she
Yeah.
is like,
No, not quite that.
but she's like, okay, we can talk freely now. Like,
Yeah.
let's make a
Like,
plan.
Everyone lets out a collective breath, and they're like, okay.
It does not take her that long to walk
She
16
has like
times.
writing
around
on her golden cage
Oh, yeah,
of like
yeah.
plans that she's been attempting.
Literally.
So I called you all here. I planned it. No, but she's like, okay, we need to talk about this clearly. Like, Woot is still at the door because he's tried to follow the Yoop out, and he's like, open, open, open. Door's not opening. She's like, come back here. You cannot open the door
Door's not opening.
unless you're wearing the lace apron.
The magic apron.
Ah,
And Tin Woodman is like, what
so not
magic
a magic
apron?
belt, a magic apron.
Magic apron.
Right?
Something
Yeah.
to wrap around your waist.
Exactly. Something
The
right around
magic
the
Blake's
core.
face.
Yeah.
My waist?
What?
Yeah.
At this point, Polly says, like, oh, it's the lace apron that Mrs. Yoop is always wearing. She's like, I've been in prison here for weeks. I have seen the magic apron in action. It controls all the doors and windows in this place. Every night, Mrs. Yoop takes the apron off, hangs it on the bed frame, or like on her bed, you know, whatever.
Post.
And then bedpost, and then she goes to bed. And every morning she puts it on. But the one day she didn't put it on, she tried to open the door and it wouldn't open. So she had to put her apron on, and then it would. So she's like, that's my proof. It's a magic apron. That's the only way out of here that she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Scarecrow is like, so we get the apron from Mrs. Yoop, and then we can escape. And Polychrome is like, I don't think that the owl can get the apron. I don't think that the teddy bear can get the apron. It has to be Woot. Like, he's a monkey. He has thumbs.
Yeah.
Like,
Thumbs.
And he has the body to put an apron on, too.
yes, a giant's apron.
I know. I get
Because I'm
confused.
picturing like a
You're gonna
spider
have
monkey.
to drag.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like it's
basically.
gonna be like he has like a comforter that he's trying to pull
Yeah.
around. You know,
It's like
but
choking him.
bigger. Yeah, but either way, Woot is like, I'm 100% for it. He's like, I'll try it tonight if I can. How do I get that apron? Like, what do we do?
Polly's like, I have no idea. I don't know what you can do. Just, you'll have to find an opportunity. But she's like, Woot, you cannot think about it whatsoever.
Oh, because she hears all the thoughts.
Yeah. So that's kind of scary.
You tell me that I'm the key player in this plan, and you're like,
I
don't
can't-
think about it all day. I'd
Sorry.
be like, new plan, new plan.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Only
And when you
thing
and when
I'm
you pick
going to think about.
when you pick a new guy to do it, I'm gonna be thinking about how he's gonna be doing that all
Yeah.
day. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
No.
But yeah, so Woot's like, I will try tonight. And Polychrome is like, by the way, my cage is gonna be hanging up, so don't forget about me.
Yeah, I'll be in the bedroom.
So I just want to
please
make that
take
very
me.
clear.
Don't get too excited and run away. And also, when we're out of here and we have the apron, I think I can figure something out
to change them
Yeah.
back.
to change us back.
Yeah, that's what she thinks.
Yeah, maybe the you is just threatening them.
Yeah,
Or
and
maybe
that's
she
true.
doesn't
She
even
could be
know.
Exactly, like she could be making all sorts of shit up. So at this point, Mrs. Yoop comes back, and they are all acting casual, and
No thoughts.
Yeah,
they're just
literally.
like, I love you, mother.
yeah, mommy. But that day, the day goes by pretty quick. Honestly, the Yoop is like going in and out of the bedroom many times, and every time she closes the door behind her. So Woot is like, okay. I'm really hoping she'll leave it open sometime, I guess.
If you remember the layout of the castle, everyone's just trapped in this one big room.
Yes.
Like her bedroom, there must be other rooms other than her bedroom.
There must be.
But like they're all just in the center room where she has her supper.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so at this point, Woot is like, maybe it'd be good to like be friendly with the Mrs. Yoop. Like Woot is thinking if I can just like befriend her a little bit, make her comfortable, that's probably for the best, just so she's like at ease. So he's like sitting on her shoulder and like he's chattering and she's like sewing and she's little patting his little head. So like he's doing something good. I think that's working. Scarecrow's just laying in the corner. He's just a bear. He's just laying in the corner like he's dead. And
It's like Andy walked into the room.
Exactly, yeah, he just dropped. But this is annoying actually. The Tin Woodman owl and the canary find that they can talk in the bird language, which no one else can understand, so they just chat all day. And I'm like, isn't the whole rule that we know that in Oz everyone speaks the same language, even with the
everyone can
ferryman
talk to
curse
animals.
last time?
No, because Woot and Scarecrow and Mrs. Yoop all abused animals.
Oh, so they
the
can't
Tin Woodman
understand.
took away
Okay.
their understanding.
But yeah, so they are all just chilling all day.
But the day's going really well. Like it's
Yeah.
going exactly how Mrs. Yoop would want it. So her
Okay.
guard is down. She's got their trust. She's like, I did it. I did it. These are my babies. These are my dolls. They'll entertain me forever and ever and ever.
Oh dear.
So Mrs. Yoop has her supper. And after her supper, she's in a good mood. So she pulls a big fiddle out of a cupboard and plays some music. She's bad at it.
They all hate it. They're all hating it. Finally,
Like, thanks for a little bit of comedy. Like, in, like the highest stakes moment.
Yeah. But finally, when she's done, she's like, okay, everybody, I'm exhausted. I've been playing this fiddle hard. So, like, I'm going to go to bed now.
Play that fiddle hard.
Exactly. And also, though, just to say, at this point when I was reading, I was like, what a boring fucking day. She walked around the castle 16 times, sewed all day,
Darned
ate
her
dinner, and then
socks.
fiddled for an hour.
Yeah, she's boring.
While a monkey sat on her shoulder. Crazy.
Like, get a fucking puzzle, then you wouldn't have to kidnap people.
Yeah.
literally. Get a
Transform-
job.
Transform a pebble into a puzzle. How hard is it?
Yeah.
How hard is it?
Transform yourself into anything and go for a run.
I thought about that.
Um,
But anyway, so she tells them all to have a good night.
yeah, she's like, behave yourselves, and she picks up the canary cage because for some reason that has to be in her bedroom hanging up.
I think since she's a fairy, she's especially wary about her.
Fair.
Mm.
So she's going into her room. She gets up to the door and she says, open. And out of the corner of her eye, she sees that she left her fiddle on the table. She's like, well, I have to clean that up right now.
Yeah, she's like, I don't leave a mess for the morning.
Clap your hands, bitch.
Seriously.
So she turns around and she goes back to the table, and Woot goes,
No, he does
No,
it
he
very
goes,
slowly and
"Shh."
quietly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And he scurries in and hides into the bed.
Okay, good.
Thankfully, Mrs. Yoop at this point, like, she's tired. She's been fiddling hard, and like she already ate a big meal, so she's ready for bed.
Stop saying
So-
she
Yeah, stop
fiddled
saying
hard.
hard and fiddle together.
Y'all never fiddled, so it's clear
No,
to
I be
me.
fiddling.
That's her initials, IBF.
Yeah. But so she goes back into the bedroom, shuts the door, and she hangs Polly's cage up like on the wall. So she's just fully going to bed now.
Woot is under that bed, and he is just waiting. So she undresses Miss Yoop, and I picture. Have you seen Big Mama's House?
No.
There's like a part where she's like getting ready for the shower, and the detective is like hiding in there, and he's like, "Ooh, oh, physical comedy about how that's a big old grandma. Oh, wow." But I picture it like this because she's undressing for bed, and Woot is just under the bed, just waiting.
Yeah.
But she takes off the apron and she hangs it on the bedpost, which for some reason I thought she'd put it at the foot of the bed, but she puts it at the top of the bed so that it's within
Oh.
reach. And then
I thought she'd sleep with it on.
And when she wouldn't you?
It's powerful.
I would
Oh,
sleep
God.
with those pearls. I would swallow those
I-
pearls.
Oh
I'd
my
swallow
God,
those
yeah.
pearls, dig through my excrement
Literally.
every day.
The way just people do not hang on to things that are all
It's
powerful.
crazy. That cookie, if that was my cookie sheet, never would have gone missing.
Yeah.
Oh, the cake pan.
No.
But she gets in bed, and when she gets in bed, just like last night, all the witch light goes out. So now it's pitch black.
And there's just a little bit of moonlight coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So Woot waits until she's snoring. He crawls out, tiptoeing on all of his little monkey toes, and he grabs the apron. It was actually really easy. He just pulled it right off the bedpost. Literally no problem.
Okay.
But he can't see hardly anything because apparently there's a window in this room, but like it's just letting in a little bit of moonlight, but he can just make out the canary cage. So he
Okay.
knows that she's there.
She's so high up. He's like, what the fuck am I going to
How
do?
is he supposed to
And
get up
he
there?
literally considers, like, leave her. Like,
Yeah.
just get the fuck out of here.
No.
Yeah. He's like,
Fucked up.
they could come back for her, but he's like, I made a promise to Polly. I'm going to follow through. I'll figure something out.
Yeah,
So there
also,
isn't.
She's kind of your only hope.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
eventually, if they get out of that castle,
That's Obi-Wan
Oz-
Kenobi.
Yeah,
Ozma's gonna
she
find
can
them.
figure out the apron if anything, because also she's been there longer
True.
and she's a fairy.
So he sees there's a chair in the room. Again, he can't see much, so he's just trying to find something. He finds the chair. It's obviously a huge chair, 3 times bigger than a normal chair. And remember when we saw like the biggest chair in the world when we were in New Mexico?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or was it New Mexico or was it Kansas?
Kansas.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
But it's that big, and so he's pushes it, and he's sweating. It's really hard because it's a giant ass chair, and he's trying to be really quiet, and she's fucking sleeping right behind him. So it's really scary. Also, at this point, he's put the apron on. Just to say, he put it right on,
He tied it around his
and
waist.
for whatever reason, it fits like a normal apron. Just don't worry about that.
It's a sisterhood of the traveling apron.
Exactly.
So once the chair's in place, it is right beneath the birdcage. He jumps up into the seat. He jumps up onto the back of the chair. And from the back of the chair, he's just tall enough where he can reach up and pull the cage down off of its peg. Bada bing, bada boom. Birdcage in hand, he jumps down and heads for the door. Woot gets to the door, and he says, open.
But Mrs. Yoop is not accustomed to someone speaking while she's sleeping. So the minute he says open, she screams and jumps out of bed, all in one jump.
Run!
She's
Literally.
flying toward him.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's like, you bad monkey, bad monkey.
She's screaming, literally.
no.
And so he obviously bolts out the door. He jumps out, and just in time, he slams the door behind him and locks
she's
her
stuck
in.
in there.
She don't
can't
got
get
no
out.
apron.
So she is hammering on this door. The door is rattling.
it's like still
It's-
scary.
it's
They're
still
all
scary.
still scary.
It's also pitch
Yeah.
black still, so they can't even see anything.
Oh
All
my
they have is
God.
this hammering,
Just banging.
and she's screaming. First, eventually they're like, okay, she's in there, we're safe. But like she's threatening them, telling them everything she's gonna do to them, and it is scary.
heart.
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
I'm gonna cut off all your limbs.
Do it.
I don't know. It's too much pressure.
So, Woot is like freaking out. So like obviously like the pressure is on because she's like pounding on the door. They don't know if she can get through it by pounding on it.
Yeah,
She's
which actually maybe
incensed.
she
She's
could.
huge.
And like she
so
could maybe
they're
break
freaking
it
out.
down.
It's pitch black now because he's in the center room. There's no windows. Woot like doesn't even know what direction to run.
Oh my God.
Thank God.
What if she stopped pounding? They found her door, thought it was the exit, and told it to open. Yeah, sorry.
Oh my
Just how
God.
scary. Yeah. Oh, okay.
The Tin
Sorry.
Woodman, thankfully, is an owl,
Oh,
and he
yeah, he
can
can
see
see at
just
night.
fine. So he guides them all to the door. They get there. The Tin Woodman's like, "Okay, we're here. We're at the door." And Woot says, "Open," and all of the doors open.
Run!
Thank God. No.
I lied.
Sorry.
Oh my
I
God.
know.
But when I was reading it, I was like, "What are the rules?
I
What are the
know,
rules?"
yeah. It was honestly, yeah, it was scary reading it. Like it was
Oh
like,
my
okay, like I don't know what's gonna happen.
God.
But no, thankfully just the one door opens. Great. They go through it. They're in that corridor again, so they make their way through, but there's just one more door. So they get outside, and then that's it. They are all out in the free air, living their lives, and they are all just fine.
Oh, thank God.
And that is the end of chapter 7, The Lace Apron. And Blake,
Jesus Christ.
what'd you call that?
Some serious monkey business.
Yeah, it's
Honestly.
crazy.
Thank you for listening to Oz Hour. Please join us next time as we continue with Chapter 8, The Menace of the Forest. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us. I'll start that one over. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Oz Hour Podcasts for the latest on everything Oz. Oz Hour, created and hosted by Blake Stone and Wyatt Swingham, co-hosted by Hannah Aguirre, audio production by Charlie Johnson, theme music written and performed by Rudy Klobus, and cover art by Valentin Lucas.